Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Butcher Bay Rejects. I am Mark.
I'm Greg. What's up, nerds?
And how are we doing today? We're all excited. This is our third podcast, and we're having fun with this. What do you think, Greg? Are you having fun with this?
I could do this for a living.
Yeah, I think we both could. I think this is really a lot more fun to just be paid to watch TV and movies and talk about it.
Yeah, because right now no one's paying me to do all that, and I do all that, and Fortnite.
Very much so. Because we don't have sponsors yet, but eventually. Those of you
Well,
out there listening,
well, we did get one, so they let me do a micro ad.
oh, did they?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Pop Tarts. Why two? Because one's not enough. Three's too many. Pop Tarts.
Thank you, Pop Tarts. Kellogg's, we're right there for you. It's our generation that came up with Pop Tarts.
Actually, I got that bit from Jerry Seinfeld, so
Did you?
I have to give him some props
Oh, you
for
got to
that.
give him
Yeah,
props. Yeah,
yeah,
you got to give him
that was
props.
all
You got to
Seinfeld,
give him
of
props.
course. I'm
All Seinfeld.
obsessed with Seinfeld, but that's a whole other podcast. This podcast will be
Oh,
for WandaVision.
WandaVision plus a few others. We've
Yeah,
we,
well,
we
it's
can't we can't just only talk about
no, no,
WandaVision. Our
no.
whole
But
podcast is
I think
about
we've got a lot to
WandaVision.
cover in this episode. Spoiler alert: it's the one we've been waiting for. I think, Mark.
Oh, very much
It's
so.
gonna get darker from here on out.
Yeah, we've been. I think we've been waiting for the flip side of WandaVision for a while, and they broke it. They gave it right to us. No holds barred with that one. So it was. We've been waiting to see the other side of the veil, and they really gave it to us.
Well, I'll jump in quick, just with a few little observations. When you watch
Sure.
it a second time. So when Monica Rambeau's in the hospital, coming out of Thanos' snap, there, you could actually hear Carol Danvers' voice, Brie Larson, call her Lieutenant Trouble, which is what she called her in the Captain Marvel movie. It's pretty,
Really,
yeah,
I didn't pick up on
yeah,
that.
it's faint, but it's there. I listened to it a second time, and it's there. They
Ah.
refer to it as the blip. The blip is from Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's what they called it. So I thought it was interesting that they used that term.
Well, they got to keep it consistent throughout everything, right? So
Yeah, well, no, but they're calling it the snap in the movie. So I thought it interesting they chose the blip. And another interesting thing is that if you notice the when Monica Rambeau takes the drone before it's retroactively changed by Wanda, those are Captain Marvel colors because she chose Captain Marvel's
yeah,
uniform
that is
colors, if you
true. That is
recall. Yeah,
very true.
yeah. All right, your turn. I have more, but you go ahead.
Oh well, there's so much to deal with in that sense. I like that they started with the snap, the blip, and we get to see, I guess you could say, the other side of things. 'Cause, I mean, in the movies they showed us all the happiness. Hey, everybody's back. Oh my God, it's this all the, but they didn't really cover what the chaos would be. Because I mean, all of a sudden, everybody after 5 years is going about their business and whatnot. Then everyone just starts showing up in front of them, and it's just like, oh my God, there's got to be a ton of chaos, and I think they showed that very well. And like her showing up in the hospital where her mother was, and there's a lot of emotion there.
Yeah,
You know,
Spider-Man: Homecoming basically kind of joked about it, and everyone they didn't age, so they were sent back to high school, right? So wasn't as serious as what we saw in that hospital scene for sure.
yeah, and exactly. And then when especially when she finds out like her mother passed away 3 years ago, 2 years after she disappeared, and I'm like, ah, yes, that's the snap. And then you see her recovered and coming into Sword, which hello.
Well, look, let's get this out of the way because I have a mad crush on this woman. Like, oh God,
I've been waiting for you to come
Kat
up and say
Dennings.
it.
Kat Dennings, Darcy Lewis is back. I don't think we've seen her since 2013's Thor: The Dark World. And oh my God, does any woman look more beautiful in a beanie than Kat Dennings? Oh God, sorry.
And the beauty was that she came into it very commanding. Where in the movie she was a little bit on the flaky side, right?
Yeah.
And here she was like, "No, I need you to get me this and get me this and get me this and a
Well,
cup of coffee."
yeah. Well, let's look at her academic journey. She started off as a poli sci student with Jane
True.
Foster in the first Thor and as a grad student because there was a lack of applicants to Jane Foster's position. So now fast forward, she's got a doctorate now in astrophysics.
In astrophysics, yeah.
And she's just as snarky as ever. God love her, I mean,
oh yeah.
she asked the chemical engineer what he did, and he refused that, and he says, "Oh, I'm a chemical engineer. Nobody cares."
Yes.
That
was pure Kat Dennings.
Yeah. You know what, guys? Side note: she only has 3.7 million followers on Instagram. She should have 100 times that. Go give her a follow, okay? We're not getting paid for this. I just love this woman to death. There, I've said it. I'm done.
But she immediately picked up on all that sort of stuff, and then get me an old TV, not flat.
Yeah, and also she brought up background radiation. Now here's a bit of a deep dive. That I don't know if you recall at the beginning of the episode when Monica's with Tyler Hayward, the acting director. I'll get back to him in a sec. She mentions about the astronaut program, and there's a problem. So the Fantastic Four powers come from the CMBR, okay? And we all know that Marvel's going to do a movie. So this astronaut training program problem, could have connection to the next movie of Fantastic
Adding
Four.
to the Fantastic Four, yeah. Well, Marvel's always been good at foreshadowing, right? They've always been great at throwing in little nuggets that just make all the fans go stupid. They theorize to death what could be, how it could be, what is the most logical or eventual outcome. So throwing in the whole cosmic rays, I mean, you got to think, okay, they were dealing with cosmic forces already with the Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, and considering Wanda's power comes from the Mind Stone, so there's all kinds of fun things that they can branch off with that. I mean, we've been speculating for months that Wanda's going to create mutants, but we never thought to go, oh, Fantastic Four. Yeah, yay. So I just think that that sort of thing is really, really interesting and really, really fun.
And here's a bit of trivia I know you'll appreciate and like. I just spoke about the acting director, Tyler Hayward, played by actor Josh Stamberg. He has a connection to Paul Bettany. If you look at his IMDb credits, he was in 2010's movie Legion, and he was the cop that was shot by Paul Bettany's character Michael as he was coming out of the I'm not making this up, a cross-shaped explosion out the wall, okay? And of course,
I remember that scene.
And then Josh Stamberg, who played Burton in that movie, gets changed into a demonic-looking angel, and he says, "What are you doing, Michael?" And then of course Paul Bettany shoots him. So he actually had a scene with Paul Bettany in that movie. So it's just, I thought it kind of cool that here they are 10 years later and something else together. Not in the same scene, but it's kind of a nerd trivia that I like.
Well, association is always great, and what I liked in this episode was you got to see through a little bit through Wanda's cracks as well, because it so showed that she is the one animating the Vision, because she got a look at what he really is, missing his forehead. And Monica Rambeau's statement when she got tossed out of the thing, it's all Wanda, right? So she saw the little reality. No, this is my fantasy, and all of a sudden he was back to normal again. And they're all sitting with their babies and such. So big kudos to just opening up those little cracks. It makes you wonder, will she bring... Because remember what they said about Vision in the movies was that he's many layers. The Mind Stone is just one. Now, if she can magically kind of bring him back, all the layers without the Mind Stone, what's left? What is it? Is it something that she creates that fits her? Or will he be his own person again?
Agreed.
There's just so much to chew on.
Chew on. Let's give a shout out to Randall Park there, who played Jimmy Woo. I thought it was
straight from Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man and Wasp. See, I thought it was cool because there's a little card trick there with his business card.
I saw that. Yeah.
Scott Lang, who was under house arrest, he was, Jimmy Woo was fascinated by
the up close
Scott Lang's magic. So it's kind of a nice shout out to Ant-Man and Wasp that he's now learned some sleight of hand himself.
Yeah, that was. I love that. That was so. That's the beauty of what Marvel is doing, is that there's always little nuggets here and there for everyone to kind of pick through.
Well, yeah, I think they dropped a big nugget, because I think with this episode, Sword is officially retconned into the MCU because now it was always there and we just never saw it. So I think they retconned it. But I did another deep dive. There's actually an alternate ending to the first Thor movie where the camera's on Eric Selvig and he's talking and he says blah blah blah, cross-reference this with the Sword database. But they scrapped that ending. So the intent was there probably to have Sword from the beginning, but they never used it. But now with this episode, now we find out, well, Sword has always been there, you know.
Well, you got to think that Sword came in after Captain Marvel, right? So Nick Fury
Yeah,
is
but that was
working,
but that
working
was
with the
92.
Skrulls.
Yeah, but that was 92, which should have been in the other movies. It wasn't, is what I'm saying.
Well, I think it was probably behind the scenes kind of behind the scenes organization, because let's face it, when you're talking about aliens, they don't really come to the forefront. Agencies, everyone. Roswell has always been like a secret thing, and everybody knew about it, but nobody said anything about it.
Don't get me started on UFOs and Roswell, please don't.
Exactly.
Just change the subject.
But in this, you got to think that Sword was even more secret than Shield, right? Because the world ain't ready to hear about
I don't know.
aliens.
They put their logo on damn near on jewelry, on drones, on flight jackets. So I don't know how secret it is.
True.
It's like FBI agents that wear T-shirts that say.
Well, I'm
FBI.
talking about like from the '90s when they first probably formed it.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about the movies.
And up until now,
the last movies never mentioned it. I didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. But I did notice Jimmy Woo wrote Skrulls on the whiteboard when he was thinking of possible ideas, what was going on. He actually did write Skrulls. If you zoom in, you can see him writing that.
Yeah. Now I wonder, like, how are they? We've seen both sides. Now, are we going to see a little bit more on the Sword side trying to break through to Wanda? Are we going to see more next episode Wanda in the 80s?
Well, yeah, I'm refusing to look at them, but now Disney's releasing mini trailers for the next episodes.
Are they?
Yeah, the next one is already out, so I know they go 80s, 90s, but I don't want to look at it. I like to go in fresh, but they are starting to release them.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just definitely a fun time. You get invested, and like Darcy was very invested.
Oh, Darcy.
I love that. I love that line. What? I'm invested. That's like you would any other show.
Well, yeah, and she finds out someone is censoring. She's not getting the full view there. We're finding out someone is censoring. Is it Wanda? Is it someone else censoring?
Well, that's just it. And now that Monica Rambeau's been ejected, and she says it's all Wanda. Well, now we know it's Wanda that is rewinding, and you notice that the editing is now more congruent with the times, where the 50s it was a rewind, right? And away they go. In the 70s, it was a cut, and then back to the starting point. So I think it's a different place.
Yep, and as you said before, Marvel doesn't do anything by chance. So the end music in the credits was Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. So I did a deep dive in the lyrics, and you find lyrics seeing the dead in a new world. So once again, they've tied in a popular song and made it relevant.
Right. Well, it's all good. It's all good, and I'm looking forward to what they're doing. Did some other watching this week.
You did what?
Finally caught up on Supernatural.
Oh, that's
Got to
right.
mention it, considering 15-year run. This is a huge thing. Couldn't have ended better. I think they took the good way out. But then I also started watching Walker, which is Jared Padalecki's new show.
On the CW. Yep.
On the CW, it's like the Walker Texas Ranger, so not quite Chuck Norris-y. It's got a bit of CW drama to it and whatnot, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, Jared has the better hair. And you know what? I really don't care. I've never shied away from my love of ABBA, but I don't know if any of you know, I'm absolutely in love with the Gilmore Girls, and Jared Padalecki played Dean Forrester on the Gilmore Girls, and I know everyone's going to say they were Team Jesse, but no, I was always Team Dean, Rory Gilmore's first boyfriend, so shout out to you, Jared. You're my man.
And again, I did live up to the challenge. I watched Equilibrium.
You did not. You did?
I did too.
Okay. Wait. Before you tell me, because you're going to crush me if you tell me you didn't like it, just remember, it came out in 2002. And if you didn't like it, you have to say what you did like about it.
I thought it was good. I mean, for the time and thing, I love the cinematography, because I've said before, I've been getting into filmmaking. So I watched it and I could see the subtle changes as the main character, played by Christian Bale, starts getting his feelings back. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the movie, the premise of the movie is that human emotion and feelings are the cause of war and so on. So society has produced a drug to suppress feelings. So it's sort of a very numb world, very dystopian kind of feel, right?
Yeah, they even shot this in Germany, specifically for the architecture, which was a bit of mixture of fascist and modern architecture. So
Right.
it did have that look of a dystopian society.
So, and everybody's very, very mute in their clothing, mute in their. I think there's not a lot of color to invoke emotion, and there's an underground of those that do want to feel emotion, and these clerics, these highly trained agents, are there to sniff them out. So I'm watching this, and you can see the dystopian thing go through. And what I noticed as the movie went on, and Christian Bale's character Preston decides to forego injecting himself with this drug, and like when you see him like peel away the white part of the window to see the sun, right? And you see the color of the sun, and you start to see him take on a warmer hue in his skin tones and such as the movie progresses, which I found very interesting.
Well, let's get to what did you think of the gun kata, that whole choreographed fight?
Well, I mean,
guns.
I found it interesting that the premise is that they created a series of movements to avoid getting shot while zeroing in on their targets. That it's been analyzed enough that they can move a certain way and all of their targets will always be there. It's sort of, I guess you could say, studying human behavior, right? If someone gets shot this way, they're going to move that way, and so on and so forth. So it was interesting for the times. I mean, no, it's not John Wick's combat versus, because they had the whole, what was John Wick called? Gung Fu?
Yeah.
Gun Fu?
Well, yeah, but who knows if John Wick, if we cryogenically freeze John Wick and put him in the time of equilibrium, maybe he's going to be just like one of those guys. But what did you think about the weapon in the hilt for when he didn't want to kill someone? He had those two things pop out the bottom, so he didn't have to use lethal force. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was
the pins. I
thought that was a nice
first thing I thought is okay, that really takes away from your ammo storage.
Okay, but it's cool.
Oh, it is cool. It is cool. Although it's a pretty serious blunt instrument to be hitting with, spikes and stuff. It's like, well, not really spikes, but flat appendages, I guess you could say.
So
out of the gun hilt, definitely.
So overall, would you say you liked it?
I thought it was good. It didn't blow my mind away because I almost see it coming. I mean, it was pretty predictable. Although one thing that I didn't see coming was his son. I thought for sure he was going to get reported, and it was the son that was going to turn him in.
Yeah, they had
and it turns out the son was had been off it for a while, because he was very, very robotic when he pushed that forward. You are going to notify them that you missed a dosage, right? So I was kind of okay. I thought, okay, this kid's going to screw him over somehow, but he was one that had stopped taking for a long time and just hit it. I was like, whoa, the daughter too. So it's like,
well, I must admit, I didn't think you'd do it. You accepted the challenge. Since you did so well with this one, I have the next one for you. Are you ready? If you recall, in our first episode of Butcher Bay Rejects, we spoke about Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko came up with one of the actors.
Yes.
The show was on it. So guess what, buddy? You have 2 weeks to watch Donnie Darko.
It's 2 weeks to watch Donnie Darko.
It's on Amazon Prime. Myself, I started rewatching it. So, and again, there are people that love it, people that hate it, people that love it and don't understand it. You'll fall into one of those 3 categories. If you don't watch it in 2 weeks, here's your penalty. You have to watch episode 1 of season 1 of Warrior. So
I can see my free time free time just disappearing as
Hey, you
I
could watch
consume.
you could watch a half hour a night of Donnie Darko. It's just under 2 hours. So if you go a half hour here, half hour there.
I like to go start, soup to nuts when I'm watching a movie, especially for the first time. When you cut it off, you
I don't know
tend to
what that means,
lose.
but okay.
It's an old saying. People say it.
Okay.
What can I say?
All right.
Yeah.
But so challenge issued,
All right.
Mark,
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko 2001. You're gonna be surprised the number of people in this movie. Now you'll know the answer to a trivia question. What movie did Jake Gyllenhaal, Patrick Swayze, Drew Barrymore, and Seth Rogen star in 2001? Now you'll know. Okay.
And I'm going to put this out to everybody out there. You can, if you follow us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. On Facebook, we're at Butcher Bay Rejects, and on Twitter, it's at Bay Rejects. So follow us there. Leave some comments whether or not you think what your thoughts on our Donnie Darko and some of these movies, and throw out some suggestions, some movies that you guys liked. We want to hear.
Oh wait, I have enough suggestions for you, Mark. Okay. I mean, the other people can chime in, but I've been waiting.
Audience participation. I want to see what their reactions to
Yeah,
these are.
No, I know, but I've been waiting 13 years to get back at you, so now I finally can. This podcast. I have more in the pipe. Don't worry.
What else have you been watching?
Well, you wanted to mention Batwoman, didn't you?
Yeah, I started watching the new season of Batwoman with Ruby Rose's replacement. It's okay. I think they could have recast for Kat Kane and continued on, or Kate Kane, sorry, and kept it going, just because I think there was still a lot of story to tell. But I mean, the new girl's got her story, and it's a tragedy one. Lost parents, lost stepmom or adopted mom, now wants revenge, finds the suit, etc., etc. It's all pretty boilerplate, really, for that. I know you're not big on the CW shows.
No, well, I am. Shout out to Gilmore Girls again. But no, I watched the 100 on the CW, which I loved, and just recently ended. I started watching the first, Batwoman with Ruby Rose because I love Ruby Rose. But honestly, I was watching entirely too much TV then. Not playing Fortnite as much, so I had to start dropping shows like Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, which was hard because I love Katie Lotz. I love Katie Lotz, okay? So it was hard to drop that one. And now, I'm almost done Schitt's Creek, so maybe I'll have time for another one.
That's another good show that, Canadian made, and takes them several years to get recognized.
Well, yeah, in their sixth season, they won every award, every Emmy they were nominated for, in every category they won, which is unheard of for a Canadian show. If you guys don't know, we don't get that recognition at all from. But you know what? So many Americans love Letterkenny and Trailer Park Boys. I think Americans love Canadian shows more than we do, I'd say.
I think so too. I think because growing up, you could always tell the difference between a Canadian show and an American show, and the American show always looked like it had so much more production value, I guess you could say.
Money, yeah.
But then again, when we were growing up, what Canadian shows did we have?
We had
the
Beachcombers and King of Kensington.
King of Kensington, yes.
Snow Job.
Yes. So
My Littlest Hobo, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that very much so. So they always looked the same. They always looked like they were shot on like lower film stock. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they did get better. Like there was some, there was a good one about 10 years ago called Alice, I think, with a friend of mine, Dan Payne. A very, very good Canadian show. But I must admit, I had to be forced to watch Schitt's Creek, so I'm almost done season 5, and I gotta admit the show grows on you. It's very, very charming.
Although, how many Canadian shows have that high a level of actors to play, right? I mean, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara,
Chris Elliott.
I mean, come on. these are royalty of SCTV. So, well, again, another Canadian comedy troupe, but still, it's great.
But let's not forget, Marc and I work at Concordia University, and Annie Murphy, who plays Alexis Rose, got her degree at Concordia University, and she won the Emmy. So we're very proud of Annie Murphy for that.
Yeah. So there's a lot worth watching. I mean, there's enough out there for everybody. I wish we could watch everything, but then we'd all be pretty much mindless drones just sitting in front of the TV, which kind of
I think
reflects now.
you just described them. Yeah, well, I got them all. Yeah, I got Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Crave. I have everything, I must admit. And yet we still find time to play Fortnite. So I guess you heard the news. The new hunter coming to Fortnite is reportedly going to be Snake Eyes from the G.I. Joe franchise, and he might bring some of his friends. So, of course, I know you're a big G.I. Joe guy. So,
Well, I go way back to the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, right? When I was a kid, the 12-inch high action figures. So, and I loved the cartoon throughout the 80s. So, and of course the movies that recently came out. I really hope they continue with that. Although they're trying to make a universe with that, aren't they? The Hasbro universe, I guess.
I could see that.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed. They've skipped through they kept the teams small, and they've skipped through quite a few characters. Like they killed off Duke in the second movie, which I'm like, okay.
Never understood that.
Okay, the Rock takes front and center, but he takes front and center no matter what. So,
well, he is franchise Viagra, as he calls himself. If you want to boost your franchise, send in the Rock.
Very true. Very
franchise
true.
Viagra.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how they're going to play it out in the next iteration. The first one, it was very spread out, kind of an international kind of thing, and they brought it kind of a lot back together in the second one in a more military way, which was kind of interesting, going back to G.I. Joe's roots. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they will come up with next. It really does have a lot of meat to chew on, I guess you could say. And like you said, it's franchises, right? Nowadays, everything is very much franchises. So I'm kind of thinking. And speaking of franchises, new trailer dropped, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yes. I love these creature features, and they're so well done. The effects are great. Well, the effects finally caught up to the times we're in, so we can do anything we want now with them. We can make them fight, make them fly,
I think I've watched the trailer at least 24 times. I just love this scene, the scene they show where Kong roars at the water and Godzilla pops up, and then the two of them are going at it on the deck of an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, and I recall sending you one of the best memes I've seen in a long time, where they're showing Kong and Godzilla facing off, and someone wrote, "So help me God if both their moms are named Martha."
Yes, that was
Whoever thought of that, brilliant,
definitely. But just the imagery that they're creating with all this, it's like, Kong bows to no one. I'm just like, watching this going, yeah, he doesn't,
Oh,
but then
yeah.
Godzilla is a force to reckon with as well. So you kind of like.
Yeah, I get the impression though they are, because there's rumors again with everything, they're going to be friends and they're going to take on a fearsome third enemy. They'll be like a team up, and then that's where I think they're going, because I really don't want to see one of these guys die.
No, I think they're going Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Yeah, I think they're going to go Mecha Godzilla, because when they start talking, this is dangerous times and whatnot, that's usually people have a plan to deal with these kind of things, and away you go. I think people relate to Kong a little bit more than Godzilla, because Kong shows more human-like emotion. Like you could see in his eyes when he's got a worrisome look or a thing. Godzilla just comes in as just like roar and destroy.
Yes, sir. Speaking of destroy, one last bit of news. March is not only a great month for Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. We found out we are finally getting the long-awaited, long-gestating Snyder Cut of Justice League on HBO Max on March 18th. It will be one full-length film, not 4 hour as they originally announced, but it will be one length film.
4 1-hour episodes.
Well,
that's one
yeah.
full
Well, it's
length.
probably going to be a 4-hour movie now, because they were going to break it up originally, but now it's just going to be one long ass movie. And
do you think you think they could sustain a 4-hour movie? I mean, do you think people will?
Zack Snyder. Yeah, I've always loved his style. His visual style is like no other. I'm a huge
agreed.
Snyder fan. So
but I'm just saying.
And it's got Gal Gadot in it. Hello, I'll watch 10 hours of Wonder Woman. I don't care. Do I need to say more?
We know you're easily impressed, and why?
Hey, she's a cut above the rest.
But I'm just trying to, having seen the first the Justice League, which for what they did with it, I liked. I liked the how they took it to brought it together. But how much, what they were doing with it. I mean, obviously it's going to be a bit of a darker thing. Zack Snyder's known for darkness when it comes to his movies. He was behind 300, correct?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. 300, Batman versus Superman.
He did Dawn of the Dead. He did that remake, zombie
Dead.
remake, and what's the
And
other
Watchmen.
one? Yeah, Watchmen, of course.
Watchmen is the epitome of darkness. So there's Sucker Punch. So there's going to be a lot. I mean, he's known for the visual, and that is really, really his style. So I'm in to watch how they differ it from the original, because from what I've been reading, they're really going to just, it's a revamp. It's a completely new movie.
They spent over $100 million on adding new stuff. And
yeah.
Fixing the effects that were not finished when he left the project.
Yeah.
But
so
it also makes me hope for David Ayer's Suicide Squad cut, because, as you know, Jared Leto's Joker famously got cut out of everything. We never even got to see the Joker, really. So I am hoping that this spurs, and Ayer's got it, he said.
And I like Jared Leto's Joker. I thought he was. Everyone was kind of like, oh, why is he that way? Joker is that crazy. I think Jared Leto's Joker was a lot more Joker than Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah, and Heath Ledger's played basically Joker as an anarchist, whereas Jared Leto played him as a psychopath, which is there's no wrong choice there, but just we never got to see. We got to see what Jack Nicholson got to do, what Heath Ledger. They cut everything out of the.
Yeah, and. The one thing about Joker is that as much as he's a psychopath, he's intelligent as well. So you could see the flips, especially in Jared Leto's Joker, where he's intimidating, he's scaring the hell, especially when he was trying to get the help of that guard from Bel Rev.
Yeah.
It was all intimidating. He was all like, and then he's like, "You gonna do that for me?" Yeah. Okay, now we can be friends. Like that Joker switch from, is he gonna kill me or kiss me? What's going to happen here?
Well, yeah. When he made him kiss his ring, he says, "I could tell you
meant that."
Yeah, you meant that. And he like straddles him, in the chair.
Yeah. Now we can be friends. So I think seeing that Joker, or a lot more of that Joker, I think we should see it. I think Jared Leto's very much a method actor, and he really got into the part too much according to certain people.
Well, yeah, he did send the odd castmate a dead rat or pig during production, but he's method.
It makes me wonder what's going to happen with Morbius when that comes out.
Another long delayed movie. It's driving me crazy. I'm dying to see Morbius.
But I think with Joker, I think Heath Ledger hit the nail on the head of the anarchist. He's gonna cause trouble and chaos and make sure Batman knows it was him that did it.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a really bad Cockney accent. My apologies to Michael Caine.
Okay, Michael.
Everyone else out there. Oh my God, look at the time. It's blabbing on. What do you say, Mark?
Yeah. No, I think we can wrap it up. But like I said, we can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. And, leave some comments. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're liking. Anything else that
before you say it's about my sound quality, it will improve. I just spent a buttload of money on new equipment, so next week you'll hear a better sound from me. I can't really change my voice because I have what's described as a gin and cigarettes voice, which is odd because I don't smoke and I don't like gin, but trying to match the big deep baritone of Marc here is impossible. So I'm just going to improve my audio quality.
Well, we'll get there. But we want to hear from you guys too, because we want you guys to enjoy our show. We want our fans. If we have fans.
Fan plural. No, singular. I think now. Well, we're working on it.
Well, Mom likes us.
Yeah, my second cousin does too, I think.
So there you go. So we got some people, but we want to hear your opinions too. So you can find us at butcherbay.com. You can find us on Facebook at Butcher Bay Rejects. Oh, sorry, butcherbayrejects.com. Excuse me. I almost goofed us. At Butcher Bay Rejects on Facebook and at Bay Rejects on Twitter. So give us a shout out. Say hey, say hi, and let us know what you're thinking. And follow along. Have some fun. We're trying to. Like I said, this is us as we normally are, just shooting the shit about everything that we love. So now we're recording it and putting it out to the world.
Yeah, usually we do this over headsets in Fortnite, but now we're just doing it on laptops.
Yep. If we recorded those with Fortnite.
Well, yeah, we'd probably have to have the E for explicit warning sign.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we don't. Well, we don't censor ourselves here, but even less so there.
Except when my friend's kid plays with us.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's a whole other shebang. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. We want you to enjoy, have fun in all these dark times, tough times, and watch some good stuff and enjoy. All right? I'm Mark.
I'm Greg. So long, nerds.
Have a good one. Take it easy, people.